Phew! It's been like a month since I last played this game again, I think. Listen, I just really needed to finish my video essay. I was reaching a self-imposed deadline where I was going on a week-long vacation, which I've been looking forward to for like almost a year. And I just wanted to feel good about myself that I'd finished a video essay before leaving, because otherwise it would have maybe felt like, oh, I've been losing another week of productivity while I still haven't finished this video essay. So I really focused on like finalizing my script for the Beast Complex video, and then it was time to really just fixate on editing that, like having to record and edit and like make the video part of that video for just a week straight, because that's just how long it takes. It's so time consuming, and that has knock-on effects, so you have to get caught up on things. And here I am, like a month later, once again, finally getting back to Professor Layton. Whoops. An encounter with Katja. While out searching for scraps of the photo, Luke and I encountered Mr. Anderson's daughter, Katja. She too seems to be searching for something, but was unwilling to part with any information on the subject. Now why would a girl like her, with a good family and many friends, come out to a place like this by herself? Don't you understand, ma'am? You're from the gentrified part of the world. You're not supposed to come to the low lives. There's so much under-interrogated faff about class in this game that always feels so weird. I've been over it before, but I'm just like, it's really startling how much it's ever present in the narrative. Ah, hi, okay. Found a coin. I believe I've already been down here. They closed them a few years back. I used to work in the mines. I gave the town its nickname. Even now, I sometimes catch punks sneaking down to the mine to see if anything's down there. They always come back with nothing, though. You can bet on that. This part does just kind of end. Can you imagine using puzzles to decorate your residence? Whoever lives here must be quite the enthusiast. It's them, they're behind everything. This is a bit of a surprise, but I came all this way and it seems to dead end at two different dead ends. Looking for the photo scraps. The alley is flooded, but like not in a way that actually gets in our way. The pancakes I make are so soft and fluffy, you'll wish you could sleep on them.
Oh, over here.
Such a healthy little Hamtaro now. Let's see, we've picked up 7 scraps so far. I guess we've got more work ahead of us. Yes, the job's far from over. It would seem that we're about halfway there, give or take a piece. We've walked the length of this alley, and I think it's safe to say we won't find anything else here. I say we focus the remainder of our search in other places the inspector likely visited. Okay, I'm not crazy. I did find all of them, and I do just leave and give up. Especially because, like, it's one thing to just list it numerically, but having a specific graphic for the exact number I have, I'm like, oh. So I guess I did it. The professor and Luke decided to search the town for missing scraps of the photo. We found less than half of them in there.
Jackpot.
Hello? I am only moderately terrifying. Taking in the sights, are you? Have you heard of the Herzen Museum? It's got all sorts of antiques from Falsence's most important family. Don't plan on visiting, though. The curator, Grinko, is almost never there. You ever find the place open, consider yourself lucky. Yes, we've noticed. We were hoping to visit, but the museum was closed when we passed by. Word is the museum's owner ordered Grinko to lock the place up and run around town to find something. The owner, you say? Do you happen to know who this person is? Of course, everyone does. It's the same fella who owns the Military Express, if you could believe it. Maybe building museums is some weird hobby for the rich, but it seems like a waste to me. It would seem Mr. Beluga owns not only the Military Express, but the Harrison Museum as well. Weird. What use would Mr. Beluga have with a little museum like that? Who can say? For now, what's clear is that Mr. Beluga may have ties to the Harrison he's kept quiet about. Done John with each other, you two? Good. Then look here at this trash I picked up off the ground. Isn't it sexy? Oh, that's a scrap of the photo. You were looking for this thing? Take it back already. Here, it's all yours. 8 to go. Somewhere. Where? Out there. Well, the narrative is pointing at the museum, so we'll go that way. I just found this piece of trash in the ground. Ugh. Littering is the most boorish habit one can have. Oh, look, Professor, it's his name's too short to do Waluigi or Wario. It's Waluke. Haha. Look, Professor, it's part of the photo. Yes, that appears to be the case. I guess the pieces really are scattered all over town. What a huge pain. Is this a commentary on this franchise? It may take some legwork, but each piece brings us closer to the answer. We must retrieve them all. Sorry to break up the tea party, but I'm the one who picked that up, you know. If you want it so badly, you have to solve this puzzle for me. First, okay? Okay. Turn on the light. The board shown to the left is wired on the underside so that holding contact points A and B together turns the light on. So those two little pins there. Now look at the picture on the right. This light has 3 contact points, A, B, and C. No matter whether you hold contact points A, B, B, C, or C, A together, the light stays on. In that case, how must the wires be connected in the underside of the board? Draw the solution that requires the fewest number of connections. The dotted red line indicates the known wire. So the way that this works is you have to complete the circuit. A and B connecting turns the light on, but any combination of A, B, and C will also turn the light on. They're telling us preemptively that one of the lines connects the wire between the light and the battery. The fewest possible connections. Let's see. It says no matter what you hold together, the light stays on. That's interesting language. Ta-da! No matter what you connect to each other, the light stays on. Ha 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 ha.
Consider this puzzle solved.
Nope. I was being too clever this time.
I suppose that's one possibility eliminated.
I think I might have been technically right, though. Let's see. It's wide on the underside that said A, B, and C. No matter what combination you do, it'll light up. When they say the board shown on the left, they mean the hypothetical one in the top left corner versus the one below. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the phrasing leaves the question open to me being a smartass and that being the answer, which is exactly the kind of trick they do pull otherwise, but not this time. They didn't mean it that time, so now I have to solve it differently. The fact that it's any combination of them suggests that two of them have to be connected to the light and two of them have to be connected to the battery, essentially. That way there's always one or the other. I don't think you can even, like, connect two of them on one side and one on the other, because inevitably you have the option of the two connected to the same side being given an option to be together. That would actually make it not work, because they'd both be on the same side of the circuit. They had to be on opposite sides of the circuit for the connection to matter. If they're both connected to the light, for example, then nothing will ever connect the negative side of the battery to the light. I'm not sure if I get the trick, though. No. Because, like, how do you account for all three possibilities without any of them having a redundant connection that breaks the circuit because it just already is connected to both of them? Let's see what they have to say. No matter whether you hold contact A and B, C, this might make you think that the electricity has to run through all three of these connections, but at the same time, the positive and negative signals need to be isolated from each other, which makes things more difficult. Read the conditions you have to meet again. Okay, I already did, though. Give me a real hint, please. You might be tempted to construct something resembling a proper wiring job, but that won't do the trick here. Be flexible with your thinking about... Well, I don't even know what that means. Give me a real hint. You'll need to draw one wire. Wait, is it...
Consider this puzzle solved.
God damn it! That's... Okay, I'm right, you're wrong, game. God damn it. That's so annoying. That is what I put in. It's just the fact that I drew the example one also. So they want you to know that you don't draw the one that they hint as being true. That means you don't draw that one. That's just a case of, like, a game should absolutely just take both options as true, because they both are the same answer. It's just the ambiguity of the input system. That's so frustrating. Alright. You're sharper than I thought you'd be. Here, I don't need this silly thing anyway. Would you like more of the tea minigame? Seems to be the matter, young man. I was stressing about something that happened a while ago. It's nothing really. Just the same, how about a cup of tea? Who knows, you might feel a bit less glum when you're done. Well, I guess it can't hurt. But you should know that I won't just drink any old swill. I might look young, but I've got a palate as refined as an adult when it comes to tea. Duly noted. I'm sure we can whip something up that will please that sophisticated palate of yours. And fill up your palate. Sweet, sour, and bitter. Sweet, sour, bitter. Okay. We actually have them this time. Ra-da-da-da. Bitter fruit. Oh, this is simply exquisite. There's a depth of flavor here that I haven't found in many other teas. Really? Gosh, maybe my tongue's just broken or something. I didn't really see stars or anything. Haha. You may be a bit young for this one. It's what some might call the tea for the experienced palate. Well, I don't know about that. As far as I'm concerned, it's too bitter to be tasty. Serve. 6. Serve. Now that's a good tea. A smile spreads across Duke's face. He seems restored and cheerful. I gotta give it to you. You know how to brew 'em, mister. As thanks, let me drop a little tip on you. Stay away from talking about paranormal stuff in town. Ever since that rumor started about Full Sense being cursed, everyone's been freaked out. I've never seen anyone go to so much trouble to get their mitts on a piece of garbage. Well, it was a really easy riddle, except it was broken. It wasn't that much trouble. Also, the puzzles are like the goal of this game. Ta-da. Just so you know, next time we meet, I'll have something even more difficult for you. I have very large shoes, very long nose, very long chin, extremely long fingers and hands. I'll let you draw the conclusions you want from there. Yep, the museum shows are shut title, right? You found a hit coin. Ooh, it's just on the floor. Professor, there's a piece of the missing photograph. Excellent. I'll put it in with the rest. Almost there. Hello, strange woman. Also known as any woman. Just in the game. Just every character. A lot of the characters feel like they were drawn by, like, you just start at, like, you just draw a shape. And then you're like, make a person in that. Just make them fill that shape. That's like a fun trick that people do sometimes. Why is everyone so quick to warn people away from the castle? I mean, what does it matter? The path there is blocked by the gate that's always locked. I take it that's the sole path to the castle then. Oh, you actually want to go there, huh? It's a weird and scary place, but I understand the feeling. The gate does open once a day to let this old carriage through, though. If you hide in the bushes, you might be able to sneak in with it. So the gate does open. Do you know anything about this carriage? It heads to the castle every day at around the same time. Maybe it delivers stuff like raw steak for the vampire to eat. But really, I have no idea. I also don't know what a vampire is. All kinds of dangerous things happen in the woods, so I say, just stay out of there. Did not mean to do this. Whoops. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Explore innate in the countryside. Oh, I think this is part of our torn photograph. All done. Blah, blah, blah. Yep. This is the strange carriage. What? Wait, that's not the strange carriage, is it? Yeah, I don't think this is the gate to the castle. Because this one's been open the whole time. You do seem pretty sharp, like pretty sharp texts. I'm sure you'd get to the bottom of this all sooner or later. At one point, we just got a bunch of enough of the photograph overall that we could probably just guess what it means. You've got to help me. I don't want to be stuck shivering like this all night. I need a tea that'll warm me up on the double. So any tea, actually. Bitter fruit, oasis berry. Ballard classic. I should just read the thing right. My bad circulation to warm me up, I'm freezing. Does great for the skin mean good for circulation? This is great for your skin, and this is uplifting and spicy. I don't know. Oops. I'm gonna not bother. Let's see. Popular with women and children. Let's not unpack any of that. No. Who cares? I find the entire tea minigame tedious and unfun and uninteresting. It seems like they just slowly, eventually just someone will tell you each recipe by saying the exact ingredients. Outside of that, I don't know if you're reasonably going to figure out what they are on the fly with how many combinations are possible. And it's just not, I'm here for the puzzles. Oh, looks like the inspector has found a new victim to grill. So the only way into Full Sense is through a narrow mountain pass on the Voluntary Express. In other words, no one gets in or out of town without riding that train, correct? Oh, I see you've been doing your homework. Yes, I think you've got your facts straight. Age takes its toll on the memory, you know. You can't tell by looking at me, but I'm no spring chicken. That's quite enough, madam. If you're sure about the route into town, we're finished here. Barton, let's go. Yes, sir. Ah, rats, he dashed off. I was sure I'd get him to come in and take in a show. Honestly, some boys just can't sit still for 5 minutes. Gender. Say, I think we've stumbled across a piece of our missing photograph. Indeed we have. I'll hold on to that for now. Only 4 to go. Am I ever without Luke? Just wondering if you ever actually do go inside there. Is this where I came from? Yes. How many times have I re-explored the entirety of the city to get all the things we've missed, or to get some kind of collectible? I said things we missed on autopilot because I was at the thing for the things you missed. Boy, too sure to do run around a bunch, huh? Hey guys, what you doing there? Hello, little boy. We're looking for bits of a torn photo. Have you seen any pieces around? Yeah, the wind blew this thing by me. Is that what you guys are looking for? I'm normally all about finders, keepers, but
I'll give it to you if you solve this puzzle. Here's a classic puzzle. The rules are simple. You can move any ball on the board below as long as it satisfies the following conditions. To move, jump your selected ball over an adjacent space occupied by another ball into an empty space on the other side. You can't jump diagonally. Once you've made the jump, the ball you jumped over disappears from the board. To complete the puzzle, you must remove all the balls from the board except for one. Okay, enough rules. Try for yourself.
I need to reinterpret that. You can move any ball on the board below as long as it satisfies the following conditions. To move, jump, and select the ball over an adjacent space. Can't jump diagonally. Okay, so it's kind of like an IQ test type ones, right? I mean, I don't know if they were ever IQ tests, but like the things that were online in the early internet has always been called IQ tests. So you want to find a sequence of jumps that results in every ball being gone except for one. Can't jump that, can't jump that. So from the get-go, the only things I can jump is that this one can jump left, up, or right, and this one can jump down. I think this one jumping down will make it so that this is so isolated that it'll never kill anything. Nothing will ever find it again. It might be something like this. There we go.
This should do the trick.
Haha.
Huh.
Correct. Correct.
Well done.
This is one configuration of a puzzle known as Peg Solitaire. As the name suggests, the traditional version of this game is played with pegs that you can insert into holes in the game board.
Oh, I get it now. Thanks for your help, guys. Here's that thing you wanted. You know, there used to be lots more people in Full Sense back in the day. But then everyone left. No one in town ever wants to play with me. It's really boring.
Oh, over here.
Okay.
Jeez. I get it. Hey, whatever you do, don't play in the forest on the edge of town.
Oh, and what's that? Why is that?
It's what I heard from the people who weren't treasure hunting at that dusty castle. Went treasure hunting in that dusty castle outside of town.
They also said that a vampire with big fangs lives up there.
Yikes.
Are you talking about the vampire who's rumored to live up in Harrison Castle?
Oh gosh, if you knew what I was talking about, why'd you make me explain it? Anyway, even though the whole fang thing sounds creepy, that old vampire's nothing to be scared of. As long as you have a cross or some garlic, you're good to go. Actually, I bet even a hunk of garlic bread would do the trick.
Really?
Oh yeah, everyone knows that. Hey, I meant to ask you two. Do you know what this is? The wind blew it over here earlier.
I sure do. That's a piece of the photograph we're looking for.
Well, then you should have it. I was just gonna throw it away.
At this point, it's impressive none of them have been thrown away.
Found one.
Uh-huh. He's getting pushy.
Luke, is that another fragment of our missing photograph I see?
One to go. I did not check inside this building. I need tea or I'm gonna die!
Now this is a sticky wicket. A thing people said at some point. Can I help you with something? I have all these new items to appraise, but I'm so fatigued that I can't seem to make any headway.
You seem to have a rather daunting task on your hands. I think it'd be more productive if you took a short break. Can I interest you in a cup of tea?
That'd be heavenly, especially if you could make something that's both relaxing and spicy.
Relaxing and spicy. Mid of the birder, spicy. Is refreshing relaxing? Vitalizing and restoring. Relaxing. So we just gotta figure out which combination it is, whether it's 2 spicy and 1 relaxing, or 2 relaxing and 1 spicy. Okay. What? Spicy, relaxing, revitalizing. I think I have to just brute force it now, basically. Spicy, relaxing, and that one. Well done. My, what a peculiar blend this is. Subtle and spicy, all at once. And sweet at the end to boot. I especially like how the initial heat helps to balance out the sweetness that comes later. I never imagined spicy and sweet could work so well together. Me over here with my red peppers and pineapples. And I've already made it before. God damn it. The struggle is I have to memorize what the icons are. So the relaxing one's the one that looks like a dandelion, and spicy is the nuts. That one, okay. Like the use. What? Whatever. Hey, folks, what are you two doing out here? Looking for something, maybe? It's nothing much. Just a few scraps of a torn photo. Have you seen anything of the sort? Sounds like garbage to me, but I'm pretty sure I saw one over by the gate of the forest. But anyway, just gotta tell you how amazed I am at the number of out-of-towners I've met lately. I just met a girl who wanted directions to Hertzton Castle, and now I bump into you two. What was the girl like? She was a cutie pie, probably in her late teens. I guess she's not with you two then. You must be talking about Katya, Professor. He would certainly fit the description. Do you think she's after Duke Hertzon's fortune? I didn't get that impression from our brief meeting, but something is odd, that's for certain. But enough talk. Have at you. We've got a lead on the location of the final photo scrap. We must make our way to the forest gate before the wind blows our clue away. Professor and Luke decide to go to the gate at the forest's edge to get the last photo scrap. Yes, ma'am. I'd be most grateful if you cut me a cup of the... Oh, okay, something with Dream Fluff in it. Dream Fluff is this one. Oops. That's fine. I don't want to keep losing so much time to this minigame. I feel like it's designed to make the game 10 hours longer. Oops. No! Meanwhile, elsewhere. So would you say he comes into town pretty often? Oh yeah, I mean, think about it. He rides the Voluntary Express for free whenever he wants. I guess that's one of the perks of owning your own railway. Oh, and whenever I see him around, he's always with a shabby-looking guy in a conductor's outfit. 9 times out of 10, he's chewing out the conductor guy for something or other. He seems to be searching for something. Who knows what, really? But whatever it is, it must be pretty special if a rich guy like him can't buy it.
I still don't see the fuss over this Elysian box, but as far as I'm concerned, it's just a box. Spectre? Pardon me, sir, but I just received word from headquarters. His alibi checks out. Is that so? Then that's that, isn't it? Huh. Barton, we've got our man. Gather all the suspects at the hotel and we'll put this case to bed. Huh? But, sir, if we know who the murderer is, shouldn't we go make an arrest and be done with it? Huh? Barton, sometimes I think you might be the thickest Bobby I've ever met. Thank you, sir. There's no greater thrill in the life of a law officer than calling out a guilty party in front of a crowd. I'm in it for the cred, the clout, the Twitter followers. Just the moment this whole case has been building toward. Now, gather everyone up on the double. Yes, sir. I had a feeling you were looking in the showers, but I wasn't going to call it out. How did I get up there? Talk about a spooky place. Did you think the path beyond that gate leads to the castle, Professor? What I can tell, yes. Gosh, anyone who would live out in the middle of a spooky forest like that must be a little batty. No wonder people think whoever's out there is a vampire. Haha. Show a little courage, my boy. Oh. What's this here? Something's stuck on this fence. They're surprised it's at the place where we went to on purpose to get the thing on purpose. There it is! It's the last missing piece of the photograph. We also set up the clue on how to get past the locked gate, but it's never been locked the whole time we've been here, which itself is weird. Now that we have a lot of them, let's see if we can't piece the photograph back together. So now they're saying it does go to the castle? Okay, so the pieces can be rotated. Okay, that's coming together. I was like, how do we actually parse what is the shape's supposed to even resemble? Okay. Big gem. It's got a frog on it. I don't think I see any like breaks in the logic. I think it all fits together that way. Basically.
Let's see if this works. Piece of cake.
There, that's all of it. I assume it's a picture of the box. Gosh, Professor. That's not what it looked like. Luke, were I to venture a guess, I'd say what we see before us is the Elysian box. Oh, look, the design on top of the box looks the same as the one on the bottom. Looks the same as the one on the fountain in full sense. Yes, I noticed the resemblance myself. What an unusual emblem. The imagery seems to suggest some sort of demon, doesn't it? Well, that seems appropriate, doesn't it? I mean, the box did kill poor Dr. Schrader after all. Well, perhaps it did, and perhaps it didn't. We won't know until we have the actual item in our hands. For now, our best course of action might be to show this photo to the townsfolk and see what they say. Sounds good to me. Who knows? Maybe the photo will help jog someone's memory, or... Ah! What are we going to do now? The wind blew away one of the photo pieces. This is quite an unfortunate turn of events. With that piece missing, the emblem looks completely different. Less evil and more like a frog. It always looked like a frog. Well, if we lose any more pieces, it won't look like much of anything else. Let's paste the remaining pieces down so we don't lose any more to the wind. It could always look like a frog. It all looked like there's a ram in the middle too, but both can be true. The goat emblem. A large ominous symbol in the shape of a goat's head decorates the top of the Elysian box. The same symbol can be spotted in some parts of Volsense. What connection exists between the box and the town? Professor and Luke decide to continue their investigation in town. Let me out! Let me out!
Over here.
Oh. Professor Layton, sir. Barton, my good man, whatever is the matter? The inspector has found the person responsible for Dr. Schrader's murder. I have strict orders to round everyone up at the hotel as soon as possible, sir. Understood. We will head there right now. Come, Luke, let's hurry. We're going to the hotel, actually. Doop-doop-a-doo. Chapter 6. The Road to Herzen Castle. I guess we're going there now.
Oh, over here.
Dad's shop is so smelly that I have to play out here or I'd pass out. That really, stinks. It's okay. I brought some snacks with me to nibble on, so at least I'm not bored. Here, we can share them. You have a box of 4 different kinds of delectable candy, arranged in no particular order. Your job is to divide these treats into 5 equal portions using your stylus. If you do so, you need to make sure that each portion contains exactly the same number and variety of snacks. Furthermore, all the sweets in a single portion will be connected, must be connected vertically or horizontally, but not diagonally. Got it? Good. Okay. In equal proportions. Okay. There's 5 of these caramel looking things. There's 5 swirly ones. There's 5 green ones, but it looks like there's like 10 of these big multicolored blobby ones. Each of them has to have 1 of each of these 3, but then 2 of this one. Okay. And I think the struggle here is going to be that there's 3 greens here in 1 clump, and they all have to be grouped up somehow. These can't be together, and these can't be together. Okay, no, not that one. These ones. Because these 2 swirls can't be inside the same shape as each other, so that has to be cut off there. So it's these 4, and then 1 of these 2 is the answer, which of those 2 to include.
start with this one, I guess. One's pretty straightforward. These three together, and then that guy. One, two, three, four, five, all together. Alright, I think I did it.
Here goes.
Yahoo!
That was almost too easy.
Yay, it's all divided up now. Here's some for you. Woohoo, thanks a bunch. And he's just eating. These candies taste like raw garlic. Oops, guess all the garlic in the shop made the snacks all weird. I'll have to throw them out.
Another hamster toy that doesn't function, and it doesn't serve any purpose because I already solved the hamster minigame. Oh yeah, we hit a chapter transition and nothing was added to the witch hut. I just nailed it, I guess. Ah, Mr. Layton. So glad you could finally join us. With you here, we now have every suspect in the murder of Dr. Schrader gathered in this room. A few days ago, renowned archaeologist Dr. Andrew Schrader was found dead in his London home. His murderer is still at large, but look around you. You could very well be sitting next to the culprit. A suspect? Me? That what it was. A suspect? Me? Utter nonsense. What reason could I possibly have to kill a man I don't even know? A bit slow on the uptake, eh? Mr. Beluga, every person in this room is after the Elysian box. That box ties each of you to our dead man, so there's no doubt that one of you here did the deed. Even though there's infinite people outside this room that could potentially also be after the box that we don't know about. I'm sure putting this case together has been a triumph of police work, Inspector, so tell me, what facts have you unearthed in these last few days? Watch closely, Mr. Layton. This is how we unravel mysteries in Scotland Yard. Watch this shit. I'm gonna do a kickflip, immediately bash his skull in.
You have my full attention, Inspector. Please, hypothesize away.
I first let her fall since there were evidence obtained in the late doctor's office. According to his notes, Schrader spent quite some time in town researching the Elysian box. When I learned that he died shortly after returning home to London, everything came into focus. I believe our criminal first spotted the doctor when he was inquiring about the Elysian box here in town. Spying a chance to obtain the coveted box, the fiend followed the doctor to London and murdered him. Oh, so that's what a deduction worthy of London. Now that's a deduction worthy of London's finest. So, out with it then. Who's our man? Hold your horses, I'm getting there. To summarize, the culprit must have been to full sense before. What's more, this person must have also had the ability to travel freely between here and London. Now, as we all know, only those affiliated with the Voluntary Express have that ability. And now, all eyes turn to Mr. Beluga, eh? Well, turn them back. Mr. Beluga stated he was in London conducting business that day and his alibi checked out.
Huh? But if it's not Mr. Beluga...
That's right, our murderer stands before us. And his name is Sammy Thunder. What? You gotta be kidding, man. I know Mr. Beluga has ordered you to turn over every stone in this town to find the Elysian box. He worked you like a dog, and you resented that treatment.
So you decide you beat him to the punch and make off with his precious box. This is an outrage. Samuel, what do you have to say for yourself? I'm being framed. You're out of your gourd, man. Now I see why the box eluded me for so long. You've been holding out on me, Samuel. No, I haven't. I swear on my favorite leather pants. That's not the voice I was on. Come on, Uncle. You know me. I'd never do anything that crazy. You'll have plenty of time to tell me your story back in London from a cell. Now come along. So it was the conductor after all. I didn't think he had it in him, but at least we can all rest easy now, says the culprit. Professor, do you really think Sammy could have committed such an awful crime? I don't fucking know, Luke. We've known him for 5 minutes. All he did was stop us from going indoor once. Well, all we have to go on is a single torn photograph recovered from the doctor's room. Oh, so that's the Elysian box? Wow, very fancy. I like the cute goat design on the top. Oh. My. Flora. Dun dun dun. Huh? Thank you, Flora. I knew something didn't quite feel right, but thanks to you, it's all come into focus. Really? Do tell, Professor, because she identified the goat that's not even on the box right now.
Come on, officer, man. My only crime is rocking, and rocking ain't a crime. Yow! Let me go.
You come along quietly if you know what's good for you.
Just a moment, Inspector Shelby. I believe we've all committed a large and rather unfortunate oversight.
Can't you see I'm in the middle of something right now, Layton?
Where are you going with this, Professor?
No one here has ever seen the Elysian box that we've been looking for. The one and only piece of visual evidence we possess is this torn photograph.
And get to the point.
The point is this, Inspector. The only person who could know what the Elysian box looks like is the suspect you're after. And it is this person who must have stolen the box in the first place.
Yes, and I've got the slippery fellow right here.
Ow! Take it easy, officer.
Pipe down, you hooligan.
And watch the hair, will ya? Wow!
Sorry to disappoint, but he's not the culprit.
Score.
What?
Score.
Stop talking in circles and get to the point, Layton. Who should be wearing the handcuffs?
Isn't it obvious? If the criminal does indeed reside in our midst, he or she would be the only one of us to see the Elysian box in person, which means the culprit. Must be you there.
What? Flora! Ooh.
Inspector, look here.
That's the photo I dropped.
Indeed. This, for those who don't know, is a piece of evidence recovered by the inspector. It's a photo of the Elysian box, and I have every confidence that this shot depicts the real thing.
So, this little knick-knack here is what started the whole mess? Well, to be honest, it's a bit outlandish for my taste. What with the bizarre frog head on it.
Aha!
I see you've put the pieces together too, Luke. Inspector, the emblem decorating the top of this box depicts not a frog, but a goat.
A goat? Not by my eyes, it doesn't.
That's just it. This photograph is missing the piece containing the goat's eyes. In its current form, the image looks like a frog to most people, as was the case with you, Inspector. Flora, dear, I believe you said the design looked like a cute goat, did you not? Well, that clears things up nicely. If you say you saw a goat, that must mean you've seen the real Elysian box before. Who are you really?
Well played, Layton. I'm sure you're very proud of yourself for seeing through my disguise again.
This is one of the only moments in the entire game where the two screens are meant to be a continuous image. Whoops. It's Moriarty, but not Moriarty. Don Paolo.
Curse you, Layton. Curse you in that foppish hat of yours.
While he smiles, cursing me.
Don Paolo. I beat you to the box, and given a little more time, I would have beaten you to cracking its secret. And of course, the hearts and fortune would have been mine. But that ship has sailed now. So you're the one who had the Elysian box all along. Another brilliant deduction from Layton's apprentice. Clearly he's learned from the best.
This guy's an idiot. Even if Flora gets found out as being the culprit, like the fake Flora, there was no reason for Don Paolo to reveal himself. Like, if he still wanted to work from the shadows, he could just do it as not Flora. But he just pointlessly reveals himself here. Like, that's... what? I know he's a cartoon children's villain, but damn.
But yes, you're right, little man. I stole it off that old fool while he was snoozing on the floor. Geezer probably caught a cold sleeping on the ground like that. Not that I care one iota. Snoozing? But Dr. Schrader wouldn't sleep on the floor. Hey, wait a second, if you've been posing as Flora, then where's the real Flora? Oh, she's probably making hay angels with the cows in that old dropstone barn I left her in. Or maybe she's just sitting there fuming because you bumblers didn't even notice we switched places. But I must thank you two dolts for your help. You've given me more than enough information. The jig may be up, but the dance is far from over. I'm so close to unlocking the secret of the Elysian box. Now I need merely take this box to the... Hold it right there, you scoundrel. Ah! I've got a lot of questions, and you will answer them once I've escorted you back to London. Don't think about why it's called Scotland Yard in London. I know it's confusing, but we're going back to England. Where do you think you're going? Got you, you slippery devil. Ah, you meddlesome oaf. You have no idea how slippery I can be. Ah. Don't just stand there, the worm's getting away. Fool. Did you really think a soft-bodied flatfoot like yourself could catch me? So long, Layton. Think you can give me the slip, eh? I'll catch you yet. Oh, wait for me, Inspector. Womp womp. Well, they tried. Wow, look at the three of them shake a leg. I didn't think they had it in them. I must say, I never once suspected Don Paolo had been posing as Flora, and for so long. I sure hope the real Flora's okay. We absolutely can't forget to pick her up on the way back to London. Of course we won't. But I'm sure Flora's having a grand old time playing with the cows. Another thing I can't get out of my head is what Don Paolo said about Dr. Schrader. The way he was talking, it didn't sound like he killed Dr. Schrader. But if he didn't, who did? The box. I think you're spot on there, Luke. Something else is responsible for the doctor's death. Right now, I'd say the Elysian box is the key to learning what that something was. And I guess we reached a dead end. If only Don Paolo hadn't run off with the... Professor, look! A mysterious box. Look at that. Don Paolo must have dropped it when he was running away from the Inspector Chelmy. Oh, this is it, the Elysian box. At last, the box. Inside sleeps the key to uncovering a massive family fortune. I beg your pardon, sir? Mr. Layton, I'm gonna ask you to hand over that box now. As a son of the late Duke Herzen, I am the rightful owner to that box. This box belongs to the Herzens. You hard of hearing, boy? Inside this box is the key to cracking the secret of the Herzen fortune. Seeing as how I share the bloodline, that box should pass into my hands. And no one else's. Oh my, that does change things. I suppose we'll have to... Mr. Beluga, listen to yourself. You're no more entitled to that box than I am, or any other person in this room for that matter. You listen here, Porter. This is none of your business, so I suggest you keep your opinions to yourself. No, I'm sorry. I will stand by and watch you claim that box as your own. If anyone has a rightful claim to that box, it's the current Duke of Folsense himself. Besides, I've heard about you. You turned your back on this town and left for your own free will. In my book, your claim to the fortune was lost the day you walked out of Folsense. Oh, is that so? You've got some nerve, buddy. If what Krantz says is true, I'm afraid I can't hand this box over to you in good conscience, sir. Hey, Uncle. What do you say we give up on chasing this box? Keeping stuff on the DL is exhausting. Don't you tell me how to run my affairs, Samuel. You've forgotten who signs your paychecks. I never even wanted to be a conductor in the first place. Plus, playing errand boy is getting old, man. It's more than a guy like me can take. Sammy Thunder wasn't born to work a 9-to-5 gig. Sammy Thunder was born to rock. Hey world, I'm climbing back on the rock train and riding it to the top. Yeah. Sammy, what are you babbling about? Come back here at once. I'm sorry, Mr. Beluga, but I think I'll have to hold on to this box for the moment. Fine. Do what you want. I hope that awful box curses all of you twice over. Well, alrighty then. That's 4 of them down already. That's 5 of them down already. So it seems Don Paolo wasn't responsible for the doctor's death in the end. Maybe it really was the Elysian box's fault after all. Yes, it sounds like the doctor had already collapsed by the time Don Paolo arrived in the scene. Perhaps you're right, Luke. The box very well could contain a lethal element that killed the doctor. But without seeing the box's effect in action, how can we be sure? Surely you don't mean... I do, Luke. We must open the box ourselves. It's the only way. You've had a good life. Please, just hold on a moment. Huh? Katja? Is there any way I can convince you to let me have that box? It's of vital importance. Before I do that, I would need to know more first. Why is this box so important to you? I'm sorry, it's not for me to say. But I must deliver that box to somebody important. I must. It's probably the vampire. Who is this person? I can't tell you anymore, but once I'm done, I'm certain this awful curse will go away forever. The curse will end, and everything will be over and done with, and he'll... Whatever do you mean, dear?
Help! Somebody, anybody! Come quick! Somebody else just got taken away to Harrison Castle. The vampire there's gonna suck his blood and then he's gonna steal his soul. Why did it have to be him? Why? He was such a stand-up guy, too. What with his being erect on 2 feet and everything. What? No, that's impossible. Wait, Katja? What are you running off to? Wow, she sure left in a hurry. Maybe all that vampire talk scared her. Do you know what she was talking about? I feel like I could only follow half of what she said. I'm as confounded as you are, Luke. But after our discussion, I am doubly sure now that this box contains a greater secret. The path to understanding everything lies right before us. While potentially perilous, opening the box seems to be the only course of action left to us. Understood, Professor. Good. Then let's take this to our room, so we can open the box away from prying eyes. Professor and Luke decide to head up to their room in the hotel. There we go. Whew. Revelations left and right. Probably ready to actually set out for the castle soon?
Well, okay then. Let's head on up.
Finally, the illusion box.
Indeed, Luke.
I can't look. Oh, no, no, no. Huh? The box is empty, and we're still alive.
Why did you do that?
Then it would seem my theory was correct.
What do you mean, Professor?
Oh, now they go back to the shack. I was wrong. What? Why? Why did you open the box? If it's supposed they could kill people. I think I hate Professor Layton, like, as a person. Like, there's all the weird classism stuff. There's most of his, like, code, his way of approaching things. The fact that he's just, like, a really shitty Sherlock that doesn't ever deduce anything. So he's just not a very interesting mystery protagonist, because he's just really unclever. Like, whenever he does figure something out, it's after I figured it out. Like, every single time, practically. Because it was just so obvious. Like the moment about the frog and the ram, which then the frog and the goat that then had to be explained for like the next 10 minutes. But like, he didn't prove that the box doesn't kill you. He just did it. He just opened it and had it not kill him. That's his method? What, like, you can write a character that does stuff that way, like, I maybe even did in the case of, like, Jet for Cape Escape and stuff, but, like, Jet's not a mystery protagonist that solves riddles and so on, so it's he's just brute forcing it. But, like, above all, it's like, you did it in front of the kid? Like, you actually opened the box in front of Luke, even though it could have killed him. Like, there's a lot of reason to think that a box can't magically kill people, but it also, I don't know, it's full of super uranium or some bullshit. Like, who knows? It's just, if people currently think it kills people, maybe don't open it. Especially don't open it at the kid. That's especially unnecessary. I don't understand. We must head back into town and do a little bit more asking around. I need to confirm my suspicions. You should have confirmed your suspicions before you opened the box. I was about to say that, like, this is really embarrassing. I'm doing this whole rant, but I'm gonna click once and he's gonna immediately explain his entire thought process. Nope. He's still confirming it. Oh no. No. I can't believe this is our protagonist of this kind of story. He doesn't even solve the mystery. Good evening, sirs. Please forgive my outburst earlier. That wasn't very professional of me. Not at all. Your testimony was incredibly helpful. Listening to you talk, I got the impression you are well versed in Hertzian family history.
Well, I suppose you could say that. When he was still alive, Duke Herzen often favored our fine hotel with his patronage. I have very warm memories of his kindness towards me even when I was just a lowly bellhop, which I still am. Back when the Duke was still with us, the whole of Fulsense buzzed with energy and activity. But once the mining stopped and the Duke passed on, our town turned into quite a gloomy place. After his passing, who stepped in to take his place? Did he have any children? As I recall, Mr. Beluga's brother stepped up to take the Duke's place. That's really all I know about the situation, though I've heard our current Duke is quite young. Add on the vampire rumors, which I'm sure you've heard, and you know everything I do. I'm so befuddled. I cannot believe he just opened the box without in any way proving that it wasn't dangerous first, and he specifically did it in front of the child. Weirder shit has happened in these settings than a box that kills people. Yeah, it's my main dudes. You're the only reason I didn't catch that bogus charge. To say thanks, I pulled some strings with the museum curator and got him to open the place up for you. It's not much, but maybe you'll find some righteous info there to help your case. Make sure to check it out. Thanks, Sammy. It got pretty hairy back there for a little bit, didn't it? I still haven't gotten over discovering that Mr. Beluga is actually part of the Herzen family. Yeah, my uncle never really told me much about it at all. I just know that he had some kind of blowout with his dad, the Duke, and decided to leave for good. He did talk a lot about the brother he left behind, though. He has a real soft spot for the guy. But now it looks like the gnarly vampire's running around the castle. I hate to say it, but I doubt anyone survived that wicked, scary monster moving in. You got a diary key. Wow, we haven't had one of those for a while. I kind of forgot about them. Now we go to the museum. Why'd you have the key? Hamster mode. I forgot what the system is now.
Whoa! My spare tire is gone!
So the flashbang makes you go all the way over there. And that makes you run all the way back. And then you make your way to the house. Okay, I get it. This might be a bit more of a struggle. 3, 1, 2, 3. Two, 3. There we go.
Whoa! My
I think that's a way of compressing them all away where it's slightly better. Overall, it's a real struggle to make anything interesting out of this game, though. The most complications come when it gets fully packed up, like the entire screen gets full. Then you're like, how do I get them to create a priority system that makes the result I want to happen? But then the game is like, you won already. Like, before we even really had to start dealing with that.
Man, exercise rocks!
36 steps! Today is a day to celebrate. At long last, the girl I love has agreed to give me her hand in marriage. I must begin preparing for her arrival at once. I'll gladly change out the castle's decor if it'll make her feel more at ease here. I'm also commissioning a special dress to be made for her. She's going to look stunning in it, I just know it. We're only at the halfway point of the diary, but it was like the most backloaded of the things, whereas a lot of these other things came up like way sooner. Nothing here. I can't believe the gold deposits ruined our lives. Brought all these pores in, trying to better their lives. Disgusting. Shameful. I hate it when people try to succeed at life.
Jackpot!
Cringe. Whereas given the setting, she probably doesn't do anything for a living. If you ever feel like you need to unwind, come on over, okay? Nothing relaxes like a night in the theater. Like, there is its own misogyny to unpack about a system where women are expected or are really not even allowed to really work and are kind of controlled and all that. But it is just like, having people be snooty about the working class is always like, what's going on here, man? You don't work at all. Look at you two, running around and around town like a dog chasing its own tail. Tee-hee. Actually, watching you reminded me of this fabulous puzzle I know about dogs. Listen up. I did not know she had a new puzzle. I was trying to click on the thingy. A girl takes her dog out. At first, she carries her dog out for 10 seconds. Then her dad steps out. At this point, the girl sets her dog down and keeps walking. The dog immediately runs over to the dad, and upon reaching him, he turns around and runs back to the girl. The dog keeps doing this until the dad catches up with the girl. The dog runs at 5 feet per second. The dad walks at 2 feet per second, and the girl walks at 1 foot per second. How far does the dog run by the time the dad catches up to his daughter? Oh my god. Okay, start unpacking this mess. So the girl takes her dog out, carries her dog for 10 seconds. She makes 1 foot per second, so the overall distance is 10 feet. That's better handwriting than I usually expect from a mouse, from me using a mouse. Let's see. The girl sets her dog down and keeps walking. The dog immediately runs over to the dad. And upon reaching him, turns around and runs back to the girl. The girl keeps doing this, and the dog keeps doing this until the dad catches up with the girl. The dad walks 2 feet per second, the girl walks 1 foot per second, so it's going to take 10 seconds to close the gap of 10 feet. Because he's going forward by 2, but she's going by 4 by 1, so they're reducing the distance by 10. Ten seconds. The dog runs at 5 feet per second. I feel like this is more complicated than it looks like on paper, because so in 1 second the dad is caught up by 1 foot, but then the dog is 5 feet towards approaching the dad. But the dog moves at 5 feet per second, so it's about to close the gap already. When the dad has reached his 2nd foot in the 2nd second, the dog will have reached him, but it will actually have reached him sooner than that by a percentage of a foot that's like annoying to calculate. I don't know if they just want me to count it as 8 feet of movement. Let's see. I don't know if they want me to just use simple math and pretend that it's arriving at him when he's 8 feet away, but it would have definitely caught him sooner than that. It would be like when he's like 8.5 feet away or something like that. Yeah. So 8 feet to the left. Then he runs back. That takes 2 seconds again, I guess. It's 8 seconds. It's 8 feet on the return trip because the moving dad doesn't matter anymore towards the catching up to the daughter again. But by the time he gets here, the dad is now... It's 2 seconds later, so the dad is now 6 feet away. So when he returns, he'll be going to a dad that's 4 feet away. It's only 4 feet back and forth. When he's 4 feet away here, he'll be 2 feet away here. And then the math gets even more messy because, like, technically the dad's not at him yet. The dad's not at the daughter yet. So the dog could try to go back. But by the time the second is over, he will have reached it back. I don't... There's probably a cleaner way of thinking about this because this feels really messy. Let's just see how it goes.
And now to test my theory.
No.
Well, I suppose you can't win them all.
Too bad. Are you sure you aren't overthinking this one? Probably. A girl takes her dog out. Let's see. At first she carries the dog for 10 seconds, then her dad steps out. At this point the girl sets her dog down and keeps walking. Runs over to the dad. Upon reaching him, he turns around and runs back to the girl. Oh. Yeah, no, that makes sense. I figured out that the dad catches up with the girl in 10 seconds, right? So it's just the dog's speed times 10 seconds. So it's 50? Wait, is it? Wait. 5 feet per second. For 10 seconds. It is just 50, isn't it? Am I missing something? That seems like a lot.
Consider this puzzle solved.
Yeah, no, yeah. It logically makes sense.
Huh.
Trying to break it step by step was unhinged. I must have been doing something fundamentally wrong even while I was doing it, because I was really far off. Whoops. Yeah, it's literally just... Once I knew how long it took for the dad to catch up, all I needed to do was look at the speed. Oh, nice work, you two. You guys run around like dogs, but you've got it going on upstairs too, don't ya? If you both love running around so much, I won't stop you. Besides, it's fun to watch. You got the ingredient Cinder Horse. Use it to create tea blends. Well, that's important. Hello. Did I go the wrong way? I was trying to go to the witch hut first. To get caught up on what I got left behind. Yep. I got confused. It's been known to happen. Puzzle 98. Jars and cans. Oh, I was literally reading it out loud, thinking it's jars and cars, and then mid-word realized it doesn't say that. It just has, like, the mouth feel, if you call it jars and cars. A long line of jars and cans sits on the counter. Your job is to rearrange these items so that both jars and cans are grouped with items of the same type. However, in doing so, you must always move 2 containers at once. Move items around by touching the red icon between 2 containers and dragging the select pair of items around with your stylus. Like... So to grab them in pairs. Oh, and that's the other two spots. I just need to make the two sets match up overall. Wait. You can't pick up one that's on its own. Well, that looks like a nightmare to reconcile. Let's not deal with that. It's kind of a weird limitation. And I did it again. Oh, I guess that works too. Right, they don't have to be end to end. They can just be completely separated with a gap in the middle. Anyway, you can do it as few as 4 moves. That one's like barely a puzzle because it doesn't actually require you to optimize it, which is the real puzzle. It's kind of a weird thing about those kinds of ones when they come up. You're like, just move them around a bit. Oh, you did it, I guess. Because like they don't actually require you to solve the real secret. You've noted 3 dice in a column. Oh, why I say noted. You stack 3 dice in a column. At the point where 2 dice touch, the faces that are touching add up to 5. If one visible face on the bottom die is showing a 1, what number must be the one on the top of the top die? In case you're wondering, each die is identical, and all sets of opposing faces on each die add up to 7. Okay. I was making sure exactly what it meant by touching and everything. Yeah, so the faces we can't see add up to 5 that are inside the sandwich. Okay, so 1 and 6 are on opposite sides. The faces that are touching have to add up to 5, so that means that they're either 1 and 4 or 2 and 3, but they can't be 1 and 4 because this is a 1. So this has to be 2 and 3. Means the bottom of this is the 2 or 3, which means these sides are right. These have to be 2 and 3, but the opposite of side of these is not the opposite of that. So down here, this isn't 2 or 3. It's the one that pairs with 2 or 3. So down here is a 5 or a 4. Which drastically changes what's over here. But just the fact that it's 2 or 3 is what affects what the opposite side is. Because we're just trying to figure out, we're trying to make our way up the tower. We don't need to identify every single face. So if the one on the bottom die is 2 or 3, the other one that's matching it also has to be 2 or 3 because that's how you make a 5. And I just said the opposites of those are 4 and 5. Because the 4 plus 3 is 7, 5 plus 2 is 7. But it can't be a 5 up here, which is the opposite one that would have to go with that. Because the total is 5, and you can't have one of them already be 5. So this one has to be 4, which means the bottom of the top dice has to be a 1, which means the top is a 6. Try again at drawing a 6. There we go.
And now to test my theory.
Yeah, haha! You found it!
A true gentleman leaves no puzzle unsolved.
I am worried of what you think words mean. What's your association with puzzles and gentlemen? I solved it with my giant brain. A new hamster toy. Tug of war. Teams of horses are participating in tug-of-war matches. All teams are drawn from an 8-horse stable. The first 3 matches end in a draw. If you want the 4th match to result in a draw as well, which horses should be on the team pulling against E and F? Take your picks. These are the previous draws. A, B, C, D versus E, F, G, H were a draw. The first and second halves of the letters given are equal. HCB versus GA, DA versus FHE. Oof. So we can maybe try to figure out a numerical value for each horse or something? Would be my first instinct in trying to unpack this. All teams are from 8-horse stables. Just the sake that they're all from this, it's all the same horses. Huh. I guess I'm wondering if there's like a logical way to break this down. Like a way to start assigning values or relations with each other. There's just so many variables involved that I'm just like, I don't like juggling all that. But at the same time, it feels like an example problem I might have been given in like 4th grade that I've forgotten the exact approach to, which is funny. Okay, no, that's interesting. So match 3 has DA versus FHE, and they're on the same sides as they were above. So you have A, B, C, D, DA. Those are both there. E, F, G, H equals FHE. So we should be able to like functionally just subtract this from that and this from that, because we know these are equal to that. Which means that this, like the combination of those letters on the left and the right, each functionally just equal 1 on each side, equal each other, so we can remove them from the logic, and then the remaining things must also be equal to each other. So that's on the left side, that's B, C, F, H, E, so on the right side is just G. So BC equals G. The other equation is HCB equals GA. So we can make BC over here equals G. So it'd be HG equals GA, which means you can get rid of the G's, so it's just H equals A. There we go. It starts making sense eventually. You just have to like, it's like, it feels like untying a knot. We're just trying to find the loose rope and the loose shoelace that you can pull on where it starts to actually budge. Okay, so based on that, if we go back to match 3, because we're trying to solve for FE. We're trying to solve for FE here, and conveniently it's FEH. which equals A. So we know we can eliminate the H and the A because they're equal to each other. So then FE is just matched up against D. That's how they make this a tie. I hope that's right. Let's see. Tap your picks, so just D.
Just leave it
Did
to
I
me.
brain good? Yep. I
It's
did the
okay.
thing. Another diary key. A new play is being rehearsed in the theater. Okay, so now we have Smoky. So we have like every tea ingredient, so technically we can solve every tea conundrum. It's just that we don't always clearly know what they want. I guess it was kind of luck this worked at all, wasn't it? For some reason the hamster picks that one. But yeah, when I did this last time, this was only 3 steps away, so it could have just gone there. But it happened to go that way, so I really gambled on that one and didn't really realize I made the mistake. It's just the screen's so small. But yeah, I got a block, which means I can't increase the number of steps because I'm already getting as much as I can from the only special blocks, and everything else is just a walk 3 steps to this thing as far as I can tell. I don't think there really is tricks for the remaining stuff. All around town, people are falling ill to a disease that has no name. Some of the common folk have been saying that our town has fallen under a curse. As the only son remaining to watch over Full Sense, I can't even think of leaving. The thought would be more disturbing were it not for her. As long as she's by my side, I have the strength to stay and protect this town. Anyway, back to poking around. Let's get to that museum.
Found one.
Okay. Getting really sloppy with my taps. Oop. The name is Gregorio, and I love chess like mice love fancy cheese. Do they care about the quality of cheese? If you can solve this little chess puzzle I've set up, I'll tell you what I know about Full Sense. That sounds fair. Show me what you've got. It's weird that he introduced himself again when this is the second puzzle. Lead the knight on a trip around the board below. Chess knights move 2 squares, blah 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 blah. Move this knight around the entire board, landing on every square only once. Oh boy. Nah. This seems like a terrifyingly large board to do this on. No.
Oh, this is a smart choice. Oh, this one's gonna take forever. Okay. Yep, nope. I would love to say I have a system, but it's like it's such a huge thing to get through. I'm never getting back over there. It's the closest I've gotten so far. I'm just fucking around though. Like, I wonder how often people actually plan this out. Already can't win. Well, wow. Let's just get the corners out as fast as I can. Oops, nope. Already failed. The corners do seem to be the risky spots where it's hard to be able to get every corner without trapping yourself. Makes me wish I could rewind instead of starting over. Yep, there's no way to get a fair amount of the stuff now. Yeah. I really dislike puzzles like this. It's impossible to get the bottom right corner. I goofed around a little too hard. Well, the mistakes always look nice and symmetrical. Alright. Didn't work out that time. Meh. Alright. This is turning into chaos. I'm free. Let's never do that again.
Ah, wonderful.
Please don't have a third one. Sharp thinking, sonny boy. Real sharp. This is definitely what my voice was the last 3 times he talked to me this episode. Now, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, the Harrisons. Way back when, Harrison Castle used to be quite the hot spot. The rich folks would throw balls there. Now, though, no one will go near the place. The castle suppose they got a vampire living in it. But I wouldn't give for these to go way back, back the way they were. Oh, this wretched life of mine. The girl I loved and to whom I was betrothed has abandoned me and fled Fawcett's. Did all of that awful talk of curses scare her off? Or did she truly leave me to be with someone else she loves? Either way, her betrayal cuts me to the core. I trusted her, and now I'm lost. Where do I go from here? What's left for me? We get to go inside now. Welcome, friends. I'm Grinko, and I'm the curator of the Harrison Museum. We have an extensive collection of artifacts pertaining to the history of this town and the Harrison family. Sammy told me all about you two. I hope you find our resources helpful to your search. Please feel free to peruse the collection to your heart's content. Feel free to look around the museum. If you think anything here might help you in your search. Alright. Professor, take a look at this case of knickknacks. These appear to be common household items owned by the Harrison family. Some of them look positively ancient. Quite. The Harrison family clearly has a long and rich family history. Mostly rich. That's one impressive statue. I guess that must be Duke Harrison then, huh? The entire museum appears to be dedicated to celebrating his achievements, so I'd have to agree. But wait a second, I thought Mr. Beluga owns this place. Yes, I believe that's the case. Isn't it funny that he built this whole place to honor his father? Maybe he's not so bad after all. I see you've taken quite an interest in that picture. That's what I think it is. It's a photograph of the entire Harrison family who were responsible for Fawcett's legendary wealth.
The distinguished older gentleman on the left is Duke Herzen. His youngest son, Frederick, is in the middle, and his eldest son, Anton, is on the right. That Frederick, that's Mr. Beluga, the founder and owner of the Monetary Express, is it not? Oh, you know him. Well, in addition to owning a railway, Frederick is a friend of mine and owner of this museum. It's a sad story, really. He cut all ties to his father and left town 50 or so years ago. When he left, he took a small portion of the Herzen wealth and used it to start his railway. Yes, Frederick is quite a study in contradictions. He disliked his father enough to change his name, but he returned to Full Sense to found this museum. Did the feud extend to all the members of the family? No. Frederick and Anton were always quite close, but their relationship with their father was never the same after that fateful day. What day was that, sir? The day Duke Herzen discovered the vein of gold that brought so much wealth to Full Sense. He was a different man after that. Something changed him. Greed, perhaps? Well, yes, that. But there was something more than greed infesting his heart. What do you think that was? No. I think it's best we end this chat here. It's not my place to speculate on what goes on in the hearts of other people. Of course. Tell me this, though, if you can. Where is Anton now? That's a good question. I've heard rumors that he might still be living in that old castle. But I can't imagine anyone would live in a place so run down that people call it a vampire den. Gracious, look at how long we've been chatting. I think it's time for me to get back to work. Please look around for as long as you like. I guess even rich people have problems, huh? Jesus Christ, yes! Uh-huh. Let's see. Oop. This place sure has a lot of stuff. Do you suppose this is a picture of the late Duke? I believe so, yes. The old Duke Herzen died a while back and left behind a massive fortune. If he's gone, who is this vampire the whole town's talking about? Sammy mentioned that Mr. Beluga had an older brother here. I'd say he's likely the man at the heart of this talk. But if he's Mr. Beluga's older brother, he would have to be old and feeble by now. I thought vampires didn't age. My reaction was because it's just like, it's so dense of a thing to say when you're like, dude, we've been reinforcing over and over again there's some kind of strife going on with this family. Like, it's the entire core story, including the journal that we're reading. So it's just like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? I gotta keep an eye out for that icon. I might miss it while I'm wandering around. Both of the lights are there. This thing, the map. Weird little bowl. The suit, book, quill. Suit man up here. Folded arms. This.
Here goes.
It's missing.
Piece of cake.
Okay. Light, top of this thing, coat or something, this. Square, line, this back bit. The scale. Tilted scale. I think the two photos are the same. Some stuff like this looks kind of different, but it's because our entire camera is zoomed differently. Like, I can't see if this is here or not because it's off the screen. These are two separate cases. Huh. Well, that's worrying, because I feel like I looked everywhere already. The central platform is raised. All of the little pillars have the balls on the tops of them. The map behind that podium is the same. No, it's not. Stop it. Yeah.
Consider this puzzle solved.
Granted, the song that they play is like a melody practically, like a lullaby. The puzzle song makes me sleepy. And it's the song you listen to for like half the playthrough. Okay, so the map was missing an island. That was a very small detail. Now it's time to be even more paranoid. Both of the the coats. I was just scrutinizing the coats extensively. I was like, they're both open in the middle. They both have the same collar. Both have a button. It's the wrist bit.
Here goes. That was almost too easy.
Okay. Oops, no, don't go back in. So now one of those is a coin or something? Or no, one of them is a puzzle, right? Right, yeah, it's a puzzle. Like, if it was just coins, it'd be really boring, because I already have a hamster that points out puzzles, points out coins. Cool! I found a hidden puzzle! The box of books. The box shown below has a height, width, and depth of 30 inches. Within this box, you'd like to place as many books as possible. Each book is 20 inches wide by 20 inches long by 10 inches thick. How many books can you pack into this box? Books can only be placed in the box in the closed position, but you can position each book however you like inside the box. So the book has to be closed. $30 by $30 by $30, $20 by $20 by $10. Being 10 wide, my first thing would just be to try to put 3 of them end to end. Or side by side like normal books go. And that would create a cube that is 20 tall but 30 wide. That leaves a space that's 10 wide. I'd put one more in there. It'd be a space that's 10 by 30. And the book is 20 by 10. So there'd be a little 10 by 10 gap in the corner that you can't fill because the books are too big. This leaves a 30 by 30 by 10 space on top where you could lay a book flat. But since it takes up 20 by 20, it would fill the entire space in one book, basically. So that's 5 books. But is that good enough? Let's think about the leftover space. The leftover space... A 20 by 20 inside of a 30 by 30 would be leaving How many 10 by 10 cubes? 5? Essentially. All around the rim. Then below that, there'd be 2 more, which is 7, because it's in the pillar of empty space we left. It's 20 by 20 by 10. Each of these is functionally made up of like 4 10 by 10 cubes. So there's enough empty space to fit 1 more book if you can rearrange them to allow that. Okay, so what happens if I stack 3 of them on top of each other? My example was 3 next to each other, then 1 on the side, then 1 on top. It's 5 total. Stacking 3 of them on top of each other straight to the ceiling would give us 3, and then a space left over. And they could just fit 1 on each side. And that would leave even more negative space. Well, not more, it's the same. It could be 5 again. Is there a way to get 6 books in? Trying to think of a way of arranging them to get 6, but I can't really see one. Let's just see if 5's the answer, so I can move on.
This should do the trick.
Okay, no. The answer's probably 6 then.
My, this one is quite formidable.
So how do you fit 6 in here? They're weirdly perfectly square books. So rotating them doesn't matter. Even though it does look longer than it is. It does look like it's taller than it is long in the image.
The answer basically has to be 6. I just calculated like how much empty space was left over, and that's basically what there's space for. Is you have almost enough for an 8th book technically, but yeah, you have 7 spaces left. Each book is made up of 4 spaces, and it's definitely not a lower number. It's really hard to imagine what it's shaped like. It's gotta be weird. This is 2 by 2. And the whole thing is 3 by 3. So like you can do one up like this. It's up. And you can have one that's even more up to the 3rd floor. This is badly drawn. It's really hard to draw. Yeah, I think you can pull some shit. So it'd have to be 6. I don't think there's any way to like try to communicate it or show it or what my process at all.
And now to test my theory. And there we have it.
Yep. Yep, that's not that far from what I was trying to draw. I'm like, this is probably like I was like, there's gotta be like a really weird pattern you can set up that almost looks like fractal art, essentially. Let's say you get a 6th book. It's like a really weird method of book stacking that wouldn't come up in any other context, because I'd be worried about damaging the books by stacking them weirdly, but those were thick enough that maybe they could get away with it just being these bunch of Lego blocks. It's like trying to stack like my Berserk Deluxe editions. That was a tough one. Uh-huh. I'm tired now, honestly.